Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. How is everyone doing? Hope you guys are well, in the best of health, in the best of states, as we carry on in our pursuit for it. So, last week I dropped a video, the highlights from the Melbourne rally, and today I want to show you guys another video, a long form one, but this conversation it was, I can say, one of my favorite conversations. It began right at the start of the entire rally, and I think it was a very beneficial conversation. But what is a beneficial conversation? I think for me, a beneficial conversation is a conversation where both parties are able to see the other side. And being able to see the other side means being able to empathize with another person. And in this case, to be able to empathize with the people of Palestine. And so I think this was one of those conversations. Was a very for me was an interesting conversation because I think it got somewhere, and hopefully, this conversation with this person has an impact for him, for the people around him, and for the future people that will come after him, the people who are connected to him. Everything is like a butterfly effect. We don't expect people or anyone to have a shift of perspective just like that, but it takes time. It takes things to click, it takes ideas to sink in, and so our duty is to be able to propose a new perspective or a different perspective for anybody. And in this case, it is the plight and the situation of people of Palestine. I'm going to start off the clip to show you guys how it looked, so you guys can see this video right now. I felt like I was a reporter, like coming up on the conversation. It was pretty awkward at first, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the experience, meeting people, speaking to people, and especially after this conversation, I was hyped up. So I was just speaking, and then I saw this person watching, looking at my post, looking at the poster I was wearing, and then I asked him if he wanted to speak to me, and this is the conversation. Enjoy.
What do you think about all this?
I've got no idea about any of it.
Really? So have you watched the news and not really? So what do you know about it?
I don't know much about it at all. I know is that there's what's that group called?
Israel.
No,
Hamas.
Hamas.
Yeah.
Bombed, and then Israel retaliated, and it's about the rest of it.
Yeah.
That's all I know.
So do you know that majority of people out here supporting Palestine is because they don't see it beginning on the 7th of October. They see this problem happening like for many years, like
Hundreds of years even.
yeah, like even hundreds of years.
Yeah.
But more specifically, 1948 or the creation of Israel. Do you know how was Israel created?
After the Second World War, repopulating a country for the Jews to accommodate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I have no opinion.
Okay, how about I'm just gonna give you a narrative which you probably never heard of before. The narrative is this: there was an indigenous people living in Palestine pre 1948.
Yeah.
They were living there for thousands of years, for many years, and after what happened in Europe, where they created pogroms, where they killed massive amounts of Jews, the Jewish people needed to find a new place to live, or they wanted to find sanctuary. And historically, the Jews have always sought sanctuary in Muslim lands. And when they were persecuted in Europe, they went to Spain. When they were persecuted in Europe, they went to Egypt. They always went to Muslim lands. And so there were a group of them who decided to let's go find a land, and they wanted to go to this place, either Argentina or Palestine. So the Christian people in England decided let's send them to Palestine. So the English, who was controlling Palestine at the time through war, decided to say, okay, let's bring these Jews back. Give them a land in Palestine. So these indigenous people who were living there for many years had no choice of what was going on. And at the same time, the British was telling the same people, I will make you the leaders of this land. I will give you self-determination. I will give you the right to decide what you're going to go to with your land. And in the process, the British slowly brought in thousands and thousands and thousands. And in 1920, there were only 6,000 Jews. But in 1948, 1949, there were about 100,000 Jews in that land. Can you imagine in your land? Imagine in your land, in Australia, massive influx of foreigners, people who don't speak your same language, who don't think like you, live like you, talk like you, and now comes into your land and decides for themselves, I want to change this land. So that was the cause of the friction, and then that led on in the 1948, 1949. There was massive civil fight between the British, and in the same process, the British wanted to head out, as you know, because there was the end of the British Empire, right? The World War, they were bankrupt and they need to get out. So in the same process, they actually there's these European Jews who had a lot of support from Europeans, developed military, they had their own airplanes, they had their own tanks. While the Arabs, they didn't have that. They were basically like second class citizens. And then in 1948, they decide to declare independence, and in the process, massacred thousands of people, kicked out 900,000 people from living on their land, and now occupy the lands that they occupy. And since then, those same people have been trying to struggle to get some sort, a little bit of the promise they were given by the British. And until today, they haven't got it. So this is why, for those people over here, they feel like this. We shouldn't cut the story to 7 October. This story is a 75 or longer story, and it's time for us to be fair, because the Europeans, the Western world, has been shoving down the world at large this idea of freedom, this idea of equality, this idea of human rights, the idea of liberty. But when it comes to brown people in the other side of the world, this same rule doesn't apply. So, yeah. After hearing that, what do you think?
I can appreciate the frustration and the, yeah, I can feel very loud. Yeah, I can appreciate the frustration and the, dispossession and all.
I mean, I understand the Israeli perspective as well, but I feel knowing this, what will be a solution? You think? What will be a I think being Australia is a very interesting place.
Always comes back to reconciliation and forgiveness and mercy, and breaking down of pride, removing pride and accepting everyone for who they are. The war never helps anything. That's my opinion, but
100% agree with you. Thank you. Thank you.
So that was the video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if there was anything that that was the video, guys. I hope you guys enjoy it. Yeah, what do you guys think? If you like it, help me like, share, and subscribe. That will really help the channel. And put in your comments, bro. Like, put in your comment, guys. Like, any comments. Like, you agree, you disagree. We can have a meaningful conversation. And thank you guys again for watching. Peace.